to our channel, We Gots to Grow Gardening in PEI. My name's Vanessa and this is Charlie, and today we are going to be starting some of our seeds that we are to be sowing right here in February. It seems very early, but I just want to be on top of things this year and feel like I am more connected with my garden than I have for quite some time. So today we are going to be planting some of these really easy veggies and flowers that we need to start here in Zone 5B in PEI. So let's get started. So first, I have our potting up soil. I am just going to gently sift this, nothing fancy here. I'm using an old strainer and a bucket, and I'm just gonna sift my hands through here and make sure that there is no giant wood chunks or anything that's going to impede the growth of my new seedlings. And that way we can get a better germination and the roots can find their way down to the water rather than having to fight with other things that might be in there. So yeah, we're just gonna do that. And then we'll talk about what seeds we are starting today. I am so excited. I've already started some of our hydroponic seeds for our basement. They are the 5 Easy Hydroponic Veggies, and there's a video to that one. You can go check it out. I'll link it in the bottom if you're interested in growing some of your own veggies right now and in 30 to 60 days. If you're in the winter like us, they'll be started for you and you will already have a head start on your gardening season. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep doing this. And so this is what's left. There's like rocks. So there's rocks, stones, sticks, random stuff that I really don't want in my seedling starter. So this is a great way. Use your sifter. Really nice way to start off your gardening season with a nice fluffy mix. So I'm gonna keep doing this and then we're gonna get planting, okay? All right, so let's talk about what we're sowing and we'll start doing that. So today we're gonna be starting our February seeds. So they include Sweet William, pansies or also violas, parsley. We won't be starting peas, but you could start peas now too. Spinach, onions, which I will be starting, and so these are bunny tails. I'm going to be starting these now because they actually take 10 to 12 weeks before their last frost, so I have to start these early. Here is the pansy that I'm starting today. I grew these in Cape Breton and they really did great. They were so cute. The Sweet William I am starting, here's a better idea. There we go. If you want to start peas for flowering, you could start them now too. These are one of the varieties that I'm going to try to grow, and the Royal White. I've actually never grown sweet peas for a flower. I've always grown them as a pea to eat. So this is kind of a new thing for me to start, and they're just an early unique flower. And they like to be sown in good drainage. We could start them outside in April and May in the nice cool soil and soak them overnight is what's suggested on the back of the seed package. We're going to be starting some parsley. There we go. And the onions that I have. Some of them are annual bunching, which are great. Love those. And also some sweet Spanish onions. If anything, I don't expect these to get massive. I expect these to be used as a deterrent for pesky bugs who like to eat some of my other vegetables. So I'll plant them near, and then we'll be able to save some of my veggies from getting eaten, not by me, but by the insects that are here. So that's what we're starting today. You could also start spinach too, but you know, I think I'm just gonna wait, and I will do these in a couple weeks. I have up until April 1st to plant if I want to start them inside. So yeah, I'm gonna wait on these because I already have them growing in our hydroponic system, and I expect that in 30 to 60 days we will have spinach that will perpetually grow. So that means I can cut it, it'll come again, and that'll be really great for us to have inside, and it doesn't take up so much planting space in our gardens, because this year we're going to do a major overhaul, and I have 3 extra garden boxes that my husband Eric made, and we burnt those with our torch, and it was actually kind of a fun experience. But yeah, they're all ready to go this year, so all I have to do is just put some soil and compost in them, and some leaf matter, and they're done. So it'll be very easy to get that set up. I also have made a couple garden beds in my front, and some of those will be staying, some of those will be decreasing, just because the flow of our house has kind of changed and will be changing over the seasons. So yeah, I'm so glad you guys are here. My name is Vanessa, and thank you for joining me in my seed starting in Zone 5B. And let's get started seeding. Okay, so first, what I want you to do is label your little identification tag. And this is going to be pansies. So I'm going to write pansy, the date, what it is, and we're going to sow these. These guys only need to be buried about 3 millimeters in, so not very deep, because they're just a very tiny seed. So here's the pansy. Now, if I'm lucky, I actually bought pansies last year. This is how small they are. Oh, my fingers, don't worry. I bought pansies last year, and they were a very beautiful blue one. And I'm hoping that they self-seeded, because I planted quite a few of them, and they were very pretty. So they're a great way to add color from spring to fall, and really they lasted after a couple frosts. Oh my. So yeah, those are planted. My label is in. I'm gonna cover them once I'm done all these guys. So, handsy, yay! Next, we're gonna do some bunny tails. These are really cool. And I actually have some that dried really well too. And I kept them for my seeds. Yeah. So, these are ones that I grew last year. But they, come on, focus. Anyways, they're just so darn soft. And I really like to add them into some of my bouquets that I made for myself. This year, I'm hoping to do a little bit more of flowers than I have in the past. And I really find that flowers spark a lot of joy in me. And I love producing my own veggies, but there's nothing like bringing a fresh bouquet of flowers into my home or giving them to a neighbor and sparking some joy in them, because, you know, just nothing beats it. Anyways, let's get started. These are also 3 millimeters deep. They take about 10 to 14 days to sprout. And we are just going to put them in here. I'm going to cover them up after. And first, we need to do a little ladle. I'm getting better at this. In previous years, I was just like, oh, I'll remember. Well, you don't, because months literally go by and you don't remember. Things go on. It's February the 22nd. Holy, it's creeping. These are bunny tails. Bun tail. Here we go. We're labeled. Dates on the back. Put those in. And this is kind of like a lazy way of starting your seeds. I will be transplanting these guys into, bigger size blocks once they sprout. But this is a really easy way for me to keep them in a contained area in my growing space in the basement. I don't have a lot of space, but I have more than I have had in previous years. So I don't have a greenhouse now here at this property, but I wouldn't be starting them in a greenhouse anyways. I'd be starting them exactly like this in my house and then putting them underneath some light, because greenhouses are great, but they're also can be really cold right now for us here in PEI. So I'm just sprinkling these guys. I'm doing it like super dense, so I'm not worried about saving seeds because these bunny tails, once you have them, you can just pop their tops off once they're ready and you will have lots and lots of seeds. So I am not being sparing with them. Okay, those guys are in. Next is Sweet William. And honestly, I don't remember planting these, but there's looks like a bite taken out. So I must have did it. These are biannual, which is cool. They're highly fragrant with colorful blooms. They can be sown outdoors in June or July. What? These plants do not bloom until the second year. A protective mulch of straw or leaves should be placed over the plants in late fall. Oh. Well, we're going to try it anyways. Maybe that's why I don't know. Okay, I'm doing this a little backwards this time. That threw me off. I thought that they were going to bloom this year. Anyways, We're gonna seed them, see what happens. Sweet William. Done. Label. The date. Feb. The 22nd. Put that in. All right. Next, we're gonna do some parsley. I don't like parsley on its own. It's not my thing, but I do like it in pasta sauces, and I also like it in some of our salsas. So I am excited to get this going because we haven't had our own canned veggies in some time now since we lived in Cape Breton. So it's probably been about 2 years. So here we go. We're going to start some parsley too. I'm labeling parsley. Feb 22nd. Put that in there. Who's next? Onions. Wow, I actually start more stuff. All right, we're gonna use these onions. Let's bunching. They're bunching onion. I actually think I'm going to start 2 packages of the bunching onions. Yeah, I am. So 2 of those, and then I'm also gonna do the sweet yellow Spanish onions. Oh, label. Jeez, lady, don't get ahead of yourself. That's when it starts. Start messing up. All right, Feb 22nd. Now I've created a really simple sheet to help you guide on what you want to plant in February and also what you want to plant in March in our zone 5B. You can adjust it to what makes your needs. I just picked out things that I felt that I would be starting and other people might be starting too. So bunching onion, put one in each. Now I've got one that says, so I have to sew these about 5 millimeters in. So just 2 more than the other ones that we have been doing. The onion. Okay, now we're gonna start these guys. These guys are also 5 millimeters, approximately 1/4 of an inch with fine soil. So we've sifted our soil, so it should be pretty fine. We'll let these little roots take over, and then we'll separate them once they get big enough, and we will have onions to help with pesky bugs. I'm going to be doing a companion planting guide for anybody who is interested. I'm going to make a video on that. I'm just going to plant all these. and then you can figure out what you want to be planted together when it's time to get it outside into your garden. All right, so 2 more labels, and this is actually being quicker than I thought it was going to be. A lot less distractions without having my kiddos at home, as awful as that sounds. But, you know, the mom happening all the time and getting interrupted causes me to get distracted from the things that I am wanting to get done. So these are a yellow onion and today's date. And if you guys would like to, comment below and tell me where you're growing, what zone you're in, so that I can kind of have an idea of what my audience is. I know everybody enjoys the Vivor hydroponics video that my husband did. It's now up to like 16,000 views, which is just because we made that video about 2 years ago, and it has just been the one that's been bringing traffic into our We Gots to Grow channel here. All right, we got this last label done, and it's February 22nd. Here we go, labeled. Yes. Okay, now I'm not gonna get any seeds wet. Get those guys out of the way. Another 2 that you could plant, I guess 3 this month, is eucalyptus, spinach, and leeks. And I want to plant eucalyptus, but I haven't been able to get out and get to a seed place. So that's my goal next week, is to get some eucalyptus seed, because it is able to get seeded from now until March 11th. So I will probably do a couple more of the onions in about 2 weeks, so that I've got a bit of a succession going in for onions, and then we'll be moving on to March. Holy geez, there is lots of plants to start in March. We'll talk about that next. But first, I'm going to cover up these guys, girls, whatever they are, ladies. Yes, the bees are the ones who decide what they are. So covered. Try not to breathe on the soil, because I just don't want that in my lungs. Okay. Now, I've already pre-moistened my soil. I used boiling hot water to try to deter any pesky bugs from fungus gnats in particular from popping out and making eggs in my soil. So I've read that if you use a yellow piece of paper and you can put some Vaseline on it, that's a good way to get them stuck. If you have a fungus gnat problem, you can repot your plants, but I'm just trying not to have any of that happen. Now I'm going to be watering these from below after I get the top just a little bit pre-moistened, and I'm going to set a schedule on my phone to help me remember to water these guys. And it's probably going to be in the evening time, because that's when I have a little bit more free time to do that. covered. These onions need to be 5 millimeters, not 3, so just a little bit extra on top of them. All right, last one. Great. Okay, we're gonna give these guys a little spritz. Waken them up. And make sure you use a permanent marker. I have used pencil, pen, washable marker. Just make sure you use permanent on your labels. Because you want to remember what you planted. I'm going to be sticking these underneath nothing until they start sprouting. So yeah, we will see how they do, and we'll come back to them in a couple weeks. Well, that's all the gardening I will be doing today, and next month we will be starting some new seeds. So some of the seeds that I'll be starting here in our gardening 5 zone B are kale, kohlrabi, petunias, rudbeckia, snapdragons for sure. I have so many varieties of snapdragons. I am so excited to start. Some euro. I plan to get a yellow euro, and I've seen some pink purpley ones, so I'm hoping to find those in the seed form and get those started. Cabbage, I like to do purple and green cabbage. The chickens really love the cabbage too, so anything that the cabbage butterflies get to, the chickens get to eat. So last year that was like a large amount of cabbage that they got to eat. So I was slightly envious of them because we really only got to have about 4 or 5 cabbages out of the large amount that I sowed and didn't get to eat. So the other things that I'll be starting is lettuce, some spinach, beets, broccoli, and Swiss chard. Now, I'll be starting a lot of these in successions because I don't want like 20 cabbages to be ready all at one time. Same with things like the kale. I'll be just kind of starting them and then doing like 1 week later or 2 weeks later so that we don't have too much. Even though kale is a cut and come again, I don't want a whole ton of really hardened kale during the season. I've kind of learned my lesson from that. But yeah, I am so thankful that you guys decided to join us and get out there and start growing. Thank you for following our channel. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, or share. And you can check us out on We Gots to Grow Gardening in PEI in this channel. So have a great day, you guys. Bye.